I will never forget that Tuesday night that changed my life forever. That day, I returned home from work to our townhouse in Palo Alto, and the house was eerily quiet. Brad still hadn't come back, which was a common occurrence when working at a tech company in Silicon Valley. I dropped my handbag and headed to the kitchen to prepare dinner. Suddenly, the iPad on the living room coffee table lit up. An iMessage notification popped up. The sender was Jessica Miller. As I walked over to turn off the screen for Brad, the message made my heart stop. Last night at the Napa Valley Winery was wild. I still have the mark you left on my neck, accompanied by an explicit selfie. My hands started to shake. 10 years. We had been married for a full decade. From meeting at Stanford University to now, I thought we had a perfect marriage. Brad was a senior software engineer at Technova, earning an annual salary of $200,000. I worked at the same company as a marketing manager. We were the quintessential dual-income family in Silicon Valley. Everyone envied us. Power couple, our friends always called us. We lived in a house worth $1.8 million, drove a Tesla and a BMW. It seemed we had it all, but now I knew it was all a lie. Trembling, I picked up the iPad and unlocked the screen. I knew Brad's password. We never had secrets. At least I thought so. I opened his chat history with Jessica. Oh my God. 3 months. Their relationship had lasted 3 months. Every morning's good morning, baby. Every night's sweet dreams, honey.
And what about me?
I got only hurried morning kisses and exhausted goodnights. I kept scrolling. My heart shattered. Last week was our anniversary. I remembered that night vividly. I had meticulously prepared a candlelit dinner. I bought his favorite red wine and wore my new black dress. I waited until midnight. When Brad finally came home, he reeked of alcohol, claiming he had celebrated a successful project with colleagues. I believed him. I foolishly believed him. But now I saw the truth. That night, he was at the luxury seaside hotel in Half Moon Bay. With her. With Jessica Miller. I remember her, 26 years old, the project assistant on Brad's team. Blonde-haired and blue-eyed, with a stunning figure. The typical California girl. I opened her Instagram. The story from that night was still there. A photo on the hotel bed with the caption, "Best anniversary gift ever." My anniversary had become her gift. I rushed into the bathroom and started to vomit. 10 years of marriage. 10 years of trust. 10 years of love. All shattered. I heard the sound of the garage door opening. Brad was home. I quickly wiped away my tears and walked back into the living room. I needed evidence. I needed more evidence. I opened his phone. I knew his face, ID settings. Sure enough, there's a Signal app encrypted chats. They have a dedicated space for encrypted conversations. My hands tremble, but I continue to browse more photos, more videos, more sweet nothings. I see their hotel receipts. I see the Uber trip history. I see the restaurant charges on the credit card bill. All the evidence is right here. My husband not only betrayed me, but he also spun countless lies. I hear the sound of a shower from upstairs. I sit on the couch, the iPad resting on my lap. My whole world has collapsed. We had just begun discussing having children. We talked about buying a vacation home in Napa Valley. We planned a trip to Europe next year. Now all of that feels meaningless. I hear the bathroom door creak open. Brad walks down the stairs, his hair still wet, wearing only a towel. He sees me sitting on the couch, holding his iPad. He notices the tear stains on my face. His complexion pales instantly. "Emily," he begins to speak. "Don't." I rise to my feet, my voice surprisingly calm. "Don't say anything, Brad. I can explain." "Explain what?" I raise the iPad. "Explain this." I show him Jessica's nude photos. His face grows even paler. "Or explain this?" I swipe the screen to reveal their chat logs. "Or, do you want to explain what you were doing at the Half Moon Bay Hotel on our anniversary?" His mouth opens, but no sound comes out. 10 years, Brad. 10 years. My voice starts to tremble. I gave you everything. My youth, my love, my trust. And this is how you repay me? He steps closer. "Emily, please let me explain." "Explain what?" "Explain how you betrayed our marriage. Explain how you slept with a girl 4 years younger than me. Explain how you were fooling around with her at a hotel on our wedding anniversary." My voice rises higher. "I love you, Emily. I've always loved you." "Love me?" I laugh. but it's a pained laugh. If this is your love, then I don't need it. I walk towards the stairs. We're done, Brad.
No, wait.
But I'm already heading upstairs. I'm going to pack my things. I'm leaving this place that used to be our home. I'm leaving this life that has turned into a lie. The next morning, I wake up to find myself in Sarah's guest room. My best friend Sarah, a therapist, had comforted me all night long. Emily, are you sure you're ready to face all this? Sarah asks, handing me a cup of coffee. I nod. I have to face it. I can't run away anymore. My phone buzzes. It's Brad's 47th call. Finally, I answer. Emily, please come home. We need to talk. His voice sounds worn out. Okay. I reply. Let's talk. An hour later, I'm standing at our front door. My front door. I wonder if I can still call it ours. Brad opens the door immediately, looking like he hasn't slept at all. Emily, thank you for coming back. I walk into the living room and sit on the couch. Go ahead. It's not what you think. Oh. I cross my arms. Then what is it? Jessica, she was just a mistake. A mistake that lasted 3 months? I know it looks bad, but looks bad. I stand up. Brad, you've been having an affair with another woman for 3 months. This isn't an affair, he exclaims. It was just physical attraction. Oh, so that makes it better? No, I didn't mean it that way. He runs a hand through his hair. I'm confused, Emily. I don't know what's wrong. Do you know what hurts me the most? I step towards him. It's not that you betrayed me. It's not even that you lied. It's that you chose her over our anniversary. His eyes glisten with unshed tears. Emily, I can explain. I waited for you all night that day. I wore a new dress. I bought your favorite red wine. I thought we'd have a beautiful evening to talk about our future. But you were in bed with another woman. I'm so sorry. He breaks down. I'm really sorry. Sorry. I laugh bitterly. You think that's enough? We can see a marriage counselor. We can work this out. No, Brad. Some things can't be fixed. Please, don't give up on us. I haven't given up on us. I pick up my bag. You've already given up. 3 months ago. I walk toward the door. I want a divorce. Emily, wait. But I'm already gone. I sit in the car, my hands trembling on the steering wheel. My phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. Hello. Is this Emily Davis? Yes. I'm Jessica Miller. I think we should meet. My blood ran cold. What? We need to talk. About Brad. We have nothing to discuss. I think you'll want to hear what I have to say. I'll be at the Starbucks in Stanford Shopping Center at 2 this afternoon. If you want to know the truth, come. She hung up. I shouldn't go. I should go straight to the law office. But I needed to know. I needed to know what she had to say. At 2 o'clock, I sat in Starbucks, waiting. I saw her walk in. Her blonde hair flowed, and she wore tight jeans and a low-cut top. She looked like a photo straight out of Instagram. Perfect to the point of disgust. She sat down across from me. Thank you for coming. Speak, I said. What do you want? I want Brad. She was blunt. I love him and he loves me. Is that so? Yes. She laughed. Do you know what he said about you? My stomach began to churn. He said you're boring in bed. He said you're just a workaholic who only knows work. He said being with you feels like living with a roommate. Each word felt like a dagger stabbing my heart. You're lying. Am I lying? She pulled out her phone. Do you want to hear his voice message? She played a voice message. It was Brad's voice. Jessica, I'm tired of pretending. Emily and I are done. We're living like strangers. Being with you makes me feel alive again. I felt nauseous. See? Jessica put her phone away. He doesn't love you anymore, Emily. Maybe he never loved you. At least not the way he loves me. I stood up. You bitch. Excuse me? You homewrecking bitch. Everyone was staring at us. You stole my husband, and now you come here to humiliate me? I didn't steal anyone. She stood up too. He chose me. He chose the better woman. I lost control. I slapped her hard. The sound echoed through the cafe. Everyone was shocked. You're insane. Jessica held her face. Emily. I turned around. Brad stood at the door. He had seen everything. He rushed towards us. What's going on? You're insane, wife hit me, Jessica cried. Brad looked at me. Then he did something that shattered my heart. He helped Jessica up. Emily, That was unnecessary. Unnecessary. I couldn't believe it. She insulted me, insulted our marriage. But you can't hit people. I can't hit someone? I laughed bitterly. But you can betray me? Emily, please. No, I shook my head.
No.
You chose her. Even now, you're choosing her. I turned toward the door. It's over, Brad. Completely over. I ran out of the cafe. I dashed toward the parking lot. I needed to escape this place. I needed to run from this pain. But the pain followed me. It was in my heart, in my soul. I realized I had truly lost Brad, not just to another woman, but to someone I didn't even know. Someone capable of abandoning his wife for an affair. Someone who could let a third party humiliate me. Someone who was no longer the person I knew and loved. Chapter 3. The tragedy unfolds. 3 days later, I discovered a secret that would change everything. I was in Sarah's bathroom, staring at the 2 lines on the pregnancy test stick. I was pregnant. I sat on the cool, tiled floor, unsure whether to laugh or cry. Emily. Sarah knocked on the door. Are you okay? I opened the door and showed her the test stick. Oh my God. She hugged me tightly. What am I going to do? I cried. What am I going to do? Do you want this baby? I placed my hand on my belly. Yes. I whispered. I want to. But Brad. I know. We sat in her living room. Maybe, I said. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe it's an opportunity to save our marriage. Emily, are you sure? Sarah looked at me with concern. A baby won't fix a broken marriage. But it's his baby. I insisted. Our baby. Maybe when he finds out, he'll realize what really matters. Sarah shook her head. I think it's a bad idea. But it's my choice. 2 days later was Brad's 32nd birthday. I decided it was the perfect time to tell him. I bought a small box containing the test stick and an ultrasound photo. I was going to his apartment to give him the biggest surprise. Our baby. Our future. I drove through Palo Alto toward his rented apartment in Menlo Park. It was a Friday evening, and traffic was heavy on the 101 freeway. As I sat in the gridlock, I contemplated what I would say. Brad, I have something to tell you. We're having a baby. I know things are complicated, but this is our chance. We can be a family.
I stopped at a red light.
I placed my hand on my belly. Your daddy doesn't know you exist yet, I whispered. But he will love you. I know he will. The light turned green. I accelerated. I didn't see the truck. I didn't see the drunk driver run the red light. All I remember is the sound of metal crashing, the sound of shattering glass. Then, darkness. When I woke up, I was in Stanford Hospital. My head throbbed. My body ached all over. Emily, a voice said. I turned my head. It was Brad. He sat by my bedside, his eyes red and swollen. Thank God you're awake. He held my hand tightly. My baby. I murmured. What happened to my baby? Brad's expression changed. Emily. No, I shook my head. No, no, no. I'm so sorry,
he cried.
We lost the baby. No, I screamed. No. A nurse burst into the room. I need a sedative, she told Brad. No. I continued to scream. I want my baby. I want my baby. They injected me with a sedative. I slowly sank into darkness. When I woke up again, the room was quiet. Brad was still there, but he was looking at his phone. Even at this moment, even in our loss, he was looking at his phone. I saw a name on the screen. Jessica. Are you texting her? My voice came out hoarse. He quickly tucked the phone away.
No, Emily.
We just lost our baby. I know. Our baby is gone. I know. I'm heartbroken too. But you're texting your mistress? She's not my mistress. What is she then? She's just worried about me. I began to cry. Not from the pain. Not from the medication. But because I realized I truly lost everything. My child. My husband. My family. My future. Get out. I said. What? Get out. I repeated. I don't want to see you. Emily, please. Get out. He hesitated for a moment, then stood up. I'll be back. Don't. I turned away. Don't come back. Unless you're ready to be a real husband. Unless you're ready to choose me over her. He didn't say a word. He walked out of the room. I lay alone in the hospital bed. My body hurt. My heart hurt even more. I lost the child I never got the chance to truly hold. I lost the husband I thought I knew. But I knew one thing. I wouldn't let anyone hurt me again. I wouldn't be a victim any longer. If Brad chose her over our family, then I would make him pay for that choice. I would make them both pay. 3 days later, I was discharged. Brad came to pick me up. As we drove home, he tried to initiate a conversation. Emily, we need to talk about our future. Our future? I looked out the window. We don't have a future, Brad. Don't say that. We can start over. Start over? I turned towards him. Are you ready to end things with Jessica? He fell silent. I thought so. When we arrived home, I turned, heading upstairs. I need a plan. I need revenge. If Brad won't fight for me, then I will fight for myself. I will destroy them. I will destroy all of them. 2 weeks later, I uncovered a shocking truth. This truth would change everything. I sat in front of my laptop, scrutinizing Jessica Miller's social media accounts. I wasn't just browsing her Instagram. I was digging into her entire digital footprint, her Facebook, her LinkedIn, her Twitter. I even hired a private investigator. I wanted to know everything about the woman who had ruined my marriage. I needed to know her weaknesses. Then I found it. A woman named Melissa Johnson sent me an email. Hello, Ms. Davis. I heard you're investigating Jessica Miller. I think we need to talk. We met in a quiet cafe. Melissa was a woman in her 40s, looking weary. Jessica Miller destroyed my marriage, she said bluntly. What? My husband is Richard Johnson, a senior vice president at Technova. I recognized the name. Jessica has been having an affair with him for 6 months. 6 months. I was confused. But she was with my husband. Yes, Melissa sneered. She was involved with both of us simultaneously. Maybe more. My mouth fell open. More? I hired a private investigator. She pulled out a folder. Jessica Miller isn't her real name. Her real name is Jennifer Martin. She's from Las Vegas and has a history of seducing wealthy married men. She showed me photos. Jessica with at least 5 different men. All married. All wealthy. She's a professional mistress. A gold digger. Her pattern is always the same. Find an unhappy married man and make him feel understood. Then extract money, gifts, and eventually divorce settlements. I felt nauseous. My husband gave her a car, a down payment on an apartment, even stock options. Now she's pregnant, claiming the child is his. Pregnant? Yes. But here's the interesting part. Melissa smiled, though it was a cold smile. I had my private investigator dig deeper. The timeline for her alleged pregnancy doesn't match. According to medical records, she got pregnant before she started dating Richard. What does that mean? It means the child isn't Richard's. Nor is it your husband's. Then whose is it? We think it's her ex-boyfriend's. She showed me a photo. A casino owner from Las Vegas. Married, of course. I stared at the evidence. So, she's lying about the pregnancy? She's lying about everything. We exchanged contact information. We should work together, Melissa said. We should expose her. I agree. I drove home, thoughts racing through my mind. Jessica was not just a misguided young woman. She was a manipulator, a liar, a professional destroyer. And Brad, my husband, was another one of her victims. But that didn't excuse his betrayal. That couldn't justify his choice of her over me. That couldn't excuse him messaging her while we were losing our child. If they wanted to play games, I would give them one. I began to formulate a plan. I gathered all the evidence. Bank records showing Brad's payments to Jessica. Hotel receipts, credit card statements, text messages, photos, videos, everything. I also collected evidence about Jessica's true identity, her alias, her history, her other victims. I even found her criminal record in Las Vegas. Fraud, identity theft, extortion. Jessica Miller was a career criminal. Now I had the weapon to destroy her. But I wouldn't use it in private. I would wield it in public. I would reveal the truth in front of everyone. In front of our friends, in front of our colleagues, in front of our families. I would make the world know the truth about Brad Davis and Jessica Miller. The company's annual meeting was next week. All employees would attend, including upper management, including HR, including everyone. It would be the perfect time. I began preparing my speech. My revenge speech. The Technova annual meeting was held at the San Jose Convention Center. 1,000 employees gathered. I sat in the back, heart racing. My laptop contained all the evidence. Photos, videos, bank records, chat logs. Everything was ready. The CEO had just completed his opening speech. Now, let's hear from our outstanding marketing team. First, Emily Ms. Davis. This is my moment. I walk up to the podium. I spot Brad sitting in the third row. He looks confused. I see Jessica in the employee section. She appears bored. She has no idea what's about to happen. Good morning, everyone. I begin. I'm not here to talk about marketing today. Murmurs ripple through the room. I'm here to talk about honesty, to discuss loyalty, to address our company's values. I click to my first slide. It's Technova's value statement. Honesty, integrity, respect. These are the core values of our company. But what happens if some of our employees don't uphold these values? What if they lie, deceive, and betray? I click to the next slide. It's a screenshot of texts between Brad and Jessica. Gasps fill the room. These are the private messages between my husband, Brad Davis, and Jessica Miller. They show a 6-month-long affair. During company time, using company resources. More gasps. I see Brad stand up. Emily, stop. Sit down, Brad. I calmly reply, I'm not finished. I click to the next slide. It's a hotel receipt. These are hotel expenses charged to the company credit card by my husband, claimed as a business trip. But in reality, it was a private date with Jessica Miller. The HR director rises. Ms. Davis, this is inappropriate. Inappropriate. I turn to her. What's inappropriate? Betraying a marriage is inappropriate. Misusing company funds is inappropriate. Misconduct in the workplace is inappropriate. I click to the next slide. It's a surveillance screenshot of Jessica in Brad's office. These are photos captured by the security cameras. They show Jessica Miller entering Brad Davis's office multiple times after hours, sometimes staying for hours. The crowd begins to murmur. I click to the next slide. It's Jessica's real identification. But wait, there's more. Jessica Miller is not her real name. Her real name is Jennifer Martin. She has a history of seducing married men. She is a professional con artist. The room erupts in discussion. I see Jessica stand, her face pale. This is slander, she shouts. This is slander. Oh, really? I smile. Let's look at the evidence. I click to the next slide. It's Jessica's criminal record. Jennifer Martin has records of fraud and identity theft in Nevada. She was previously arrested for blackmailing married men. Her pattern is always the same. Seduce, manipulate, then extort. Jessica starts to cry. This isn't true. Oh, but there's more. I continue. Jessica claims she's pregnant with Brad's child. But medical records show the timeline of her pregnancy doesn't match. That child cannot be Brad's. Nor can it be Richard Johnson, another executive in the company. She was involved with both men simultaneously. The room falls into stunned silence. I click to the final slide. It's a summary of all the evidence. This is the truth. Brad Davis betrayed his wife. Abused company resources for personal matters. Jessica Miller is a professional con artist, using a false identity to infiltrate our company. They have both violated our company policies and values. I close my laptop. I'm done. I step down from the podium. Chaos erupts in the room. People chatter amongst themselves. Reporters snap photos. Security personnel maintain order. I see Brad sitting in his chair, head buried in his hands. I see Jessica being escorted out by 2 security guards. I see the HR director and the CEO in urgent discussion. My revenge is complete. I walk out of the conference center and into the California sunshine. My phone begins to ring. Reporters, friends, family. Everyone wants to know what happened. But I don't care. I did what I had to do. I fought for myself. I fought for my lost child. I fought for every person betrayed by Brad and Jessica. Justice has been served. 2 days later, I received a notice from the company. Brad Davis and Jessica Miller had been fired. The company was investigating mishandling of funds. Criminal charges were likely. I had also received messages from other women, Jessica's other victims. They thanked me for exposing the truth. They thanked me for giving them the courage to come forward. I realized that what I was doing was not just for myself. I was doing it for all the betrayed women, all the deceived wives, all the manipulated victims. My revenge had transformed into justice. My pain had turned into strength. 6 months later, my life had completely changed. I was in a bright new office overlooking San Francisco Bay. My marketing consultancy, Phoenix Marketing was thriving. Like a phoenix, I had risen from the ashes. My clients included some of the most successful startups in Silicon Valley. I specialized in helping them build honest and transparent brands. Ironically, my personal tragedy had become my greatest professional asset. I had become an expert in authenticity and rebuilding. Emily. My assistant knocked at the door. Mr. Alex Thompson is here. Alex Thompson was the CEO of NextGen Solutions, a rapidly growing startup focused on clean energy. He was my new client
And a new hope in my life.
Let him in, I said. Alex walked into my office. He was tall, with dark hair and friendly brown eyes. He wore a simple blue button-up shirt and jeans, the typical Silicon Valley CEO style. Emily, thank you for seeing me. Of course, Alex. Please take a seat. We began discussing his marketing strategy, but I noticed he kept looking at me, not in an inappropriate way, but rather in a curious one. I must say, he said, I truly admire your courage. My courage? In light of what happened at Technova,
He said.
You stood up to tell the truth. That must have been difficult. I felt a warm flutter inside me. Yes, it certainly was. But it was the right thing to do. I agree, I said, and he nodded. Actually, I need to confess something. I looked at him in confusion. I know you, he said, from Stanford. You know me? We took the same business ethics course. 2015, Professor Williams' class. I searched my memories, and then it clicked.
Alex
Thompson. You sat in the third row, always asking the smartest questions. He laughed. I can't believe you remember. I remember you, I said. You wrote that brilliant paper on corporate social responsibility. I've always admired your intellect and your integrity. We looked at each other, feeling a connection I hadn't felt in a long time. I have to admit, he said, my reason for asking you to be my marketing consultant wasn't purely for business. It wasn't. I wanted to see you again. I wanted to know if you would consider having dinner with me. As friends, he quickly added, I know you've been through a lot. I hesitated. I wasn't ready to date yet. I was still healing. Alex, I'm not ready. I understand, he said, completely. But maybe we could start with friendship? I'd like that. I smiled. In the following months, Alex and I became friends. We talked about business, life, dreams. He was patient. He was understanding. He never pushed. He was just there. Slowly, I began to heal. Slowly, I began to trust. Slowly, I started to believe in love again. A year later, on a beautiful autumn evening, Alex proposed to me in a vineyard in Napa Valley. Emily Davis, he said, kneeling on one knee, will you marry me? I promise to always be honest. I promise to always be loyal. I promise to always love you. I cried. But this time, they were tears of joy. Yes, I replied. Yes, I will. We held a small wedding in the same vineyard. Just family and close friends. Sarah was my maid of honor. We exchanged vows that we had written ourselves. I promise to share my true self with you, I said. I promise to build a relationship based on honesty and trust with you. I promise never to allow anyone to come between us. I promise to love you, cherish you, and support you. In good times and in bad. In sickness and in health. Until death do us part. Alex's vows made me weep. Emily, you are the strongest woman I have ever known. You have risen from betrayal. You have created beauty from pain. You have rebuilt your life from the ashes. I promise to build a life with you based on truth. I promise to be the partner you deserve. I promise to choose you every day, every moment, every time. After the ceremony, we received unexpected news. I was pregnant. This time, I had a husband who truly loved me by my side. This time, I knew our child would be born into a family filled with love and honesty. As for Brad, I occasionally heard news about him. He had found a job at a small company. The pay was only half of what it used to be. He moved into a cheap apartment. Jessica had left him for another wealthy, married man. She was never really pregnant. That was just another lie. The last time I saw Brad was at Whole Foods. He looked tired and lonely. When he spotted me, he walked over. Emily, he said, I want to apologize. For everything. I looked at him. This man who once was my husband. This man I had once loved. I forgive you, Brad, I said. But not for you. It's for myself. I need to let go of the anger to move forward. I hope you find the happiness you're seeking. True happiness, not built on deceit. He nodded, tears welling in his eyes. I wish you happiness, Emily. You deserve happiness. I smiled. I am happy. At last, I'm truly happy. As I walked towards my car, I placed a hand on my belly. Sometimes, you must lose everything to discover what you truly need.